Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Take two. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Poems and Prayers. May our signal be strong. May our hearts be courageous. May we know the joy of freedom and the freedom of joy. There we go. Thanks for being here. Here we go. Go ahead and close your eyes, turn within, take a deep breath. I bless you. I honor you. I love you. I set you free. I bless you. I honor you. I love you. I set you free. I bless you. I honor you. I love you. I set you free. I bless me. I honor me. I love me. I set me free. I bless me, I honor me, I love me, I set me free. I bless me, I honor me, I love me, I set me free. I am my I am presence, and I am one with my Father, Mother, God. I am also one with the I am presence of every man, woman, and child on earth, the entire company of heaven, the angelic kingdom, the elemental kingdom, and Gaia, Mother Earth. I give heartfelt and sincere thanks for the sacred gift of my life. I ask my I am presence to consecrate every thought, word, feeling, and action which I express throughout this day and every day with more love and more light for myself and my world. Word, I am word. I am in the upper room. I know who I am in truth, what I am in truth, how I serve in truth. I am here. I am here. I am here. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sorrow, joy. O Divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive. It is in pardoning that we are forgiven, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He maketh me lie down in the tall grass. He anoints my head with oil. My cup overflows. He leadeth me on a path of righteousness for his name's sake. He prepares a table before me in the presence of my foe. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. O cosmic birther of all radiance and vibration, soften the ground of our being and carve out a space within us where your presence can abide. Fill us with your creativity so that we may be empowered to bear the fruit of your mission. Let each of our actions bear fruit in accordance with our desire. Endow us with the wisdom to produce and share what each being needs to grow and flourish. Untie the tangled threads of destiny that bind us as we release others from the entanglement of past mistakes. Do not let us be seduced by that which would divert us from our true purpose, but illuminate the opportunities of the present moment. For you are the ground and the fruitful vision, the birth, power, and fulfillment as all is gathered and made whole once again. I am here only to be truly helpful. I am here to represent him who sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do, because he who sent me will direct me. I am content to be wherever he wishes, knowing he goes there with me. I will be healed as I let him teach me to heal. Take a deep breath. Okay. Let me give you the violet flame here. Give you this. The teachers of God have trust in the world because they have learned it is not governed by the laws the world made up. It is governed by a power that is in them, but not of them. It is this power that keeps all things safe. It's what we call the heart of the paradox. Prayer of the miracle worker. Today we begin by tucking our chins and bowing our heads and knowing that God is all that there is and that we are one with it. We surrender all that we are to all God will have us be. We bow our heads, our hearts, our desires and agendas to God's will. We trust that God knows us. We trust that God knows us and loves us as we make our way home to peace. We trust that we will see miracles where we once saw lack and limitations, and that we will be assisted in solutions where we once saw dead ends. We commit to remembering that we're immersed in God's holy ecstasy and audaciousness, where all things are possible, plentiful, and perfect. We give thanks for another day of miracles and miraculous encounters, and may we always remember that this grace is offered to us, not just for our own peace and joy, but so that we may be a fearless extension of God's love. And together, so we say, and so it is. Deep breath. One more. Thank you for your patience. My whole life in notes here. Where is it? Nearly there. It's so worth the wait. Darling, where's it gone? Okay, all right. We'll save that for another moment. It's lost in space. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Poems and Prayers. Tuesday, the 27th of January. We are nearly through this intense, dramatic, powerful month. My friends in the States are still digging out or riding out the biggest snowstorm in quite some time. Ice storm and some powerful juju from Mother Earth, whether assisted by people or not. I leave you to decide. Great to be here with you. Neptune moves into Aries today. I was listening to our buddy there, Paul White Gold Eagle. And so this is Morning Poems and Prayers. This is year 10, and we'll be here for the next hour. And I'll end it with a channeling from my guides, Divine Love, my higher self, soul, and spirit. And it's a pleasure to share all this with you. But a lot of, so Neptune and Aries, what I'm seeing this morning is just more and more interest in and coverage of the monks on their walk for peace. It's wonderful, and in perfect synchronicity, I have our dear friend Medina Arise Humanity and her new poem, which she's shared with me, for me to share with you. And it goes like this. The world hears their call for peace. 19 souls walk through a land, sharing peace and God's true hand. Their message transcends time and space, while marching at a steady pace. A determined goal of kindness speaks and echoes through the winter weeks. People come and watch in awe, knowing it is God they saw. And on the march through winter's skies, with pure hearts so strong and wise, and still they come, the crowds to see, and many fall upon their knee. The peaceful plight, the focused goal, reaches out to every soul. It goes beyond the earthly chatter. We know this walk does really matter. With simple robes and some bare feet, many children come and meet these walking monks so full of love, while God is watching from above. A loyal dog who walks beside would probably prefer a car ride, but pacing at their heels he stays, a symbol to bring better days. That's Aloka, A-L-O-K-A. Everybody loves Aloka. Every thought on peace that lands is reaching out to touch God's hands. A flower or a wristband shared, you tie a little prayer string around people who are offering their flowers and food. A flower or a wristband shared is one more heart flung wide and bared. 80,000 walk with them. 80,000 walk them in one town, remembering that peace is more than just a thought, is something we should all be taught. Tears are shed, and global eyes watch these monks march under skies, promising a peace for all, awaiting for the dark to fall. The power of this walk is clear. The world is watching far and near to ground this state of love on earth and usher in a peace rebirth. Medina Labachen, 2026. Thank you, Medina. Bless you. That's our dear friend in Aussie land, one of my many friends in Australia. And Eileen Bray has given us a song here for the monks, composed the other night. Let's give you Eileen here. Full version, Ode to Aloka, an invitation to slow down for 5 minutes. Look at these beautiful faces of peace, especially the furry one with the heart on his forehead. Just me, non-pro recording guitar, shruti box, and 2 iPhones. Okay. Ong Namo, I bow, I honor. Aloka, light, illumination. Then, I love that Aloka's name is in beautiful mantra in the Sanskrit. Loka, Samasta, Shikino, Bhavantu. May all beings in all realms and without exception dwell in happiness, ease, and freedom from suffering. It is offered in the spirit of loving kindness for Aloka and his beloved, peaceful walking monks. Let's give you a listen here. thank you, sweetheart. Bless you. That's just a sample, but it's on my page there, and just perfect for today. Thank you so much. Wonderful song, wonderful chant. Here's the quote I'm looking at right now: "Walk for peace. In my 76 years of living, I have never encountered a phenomenon like Walk for Peace, which has united many Americans and attracted millions of followers. Why are people so enthralled with 19 Buddhist monks walking from Texas through the Deep South to Washington, D.C., over 2,300 miles, encouraging people to practice mindfulness? The timing is fortuitous. Americans hunger for hope, kindness, and peace in a country which is becoming perilously close to unraveling with division and lawlessness, cruelty and disregard for the vulnerable and the poor. The venerable monks provide alternatives to cruelty with kindness, anger and violence with mindfulness and love, and retribution with forgiveness. Heap on tenderness, humility, and understanding for the marginalized, and a more peaceful existence can begin within each of us and ripple through our communities. What began with hundreds of people lining up in Texas to see the monks has turned into thousands as the walk has progressed. In Georgia, my husband and I went to Decatur and joined the thousands greeting the venerable monks. What struck me was the wide range of folks, including people of all colors, cultures, ages, even teenagers, God forbid, and socioeconomic groups. The experience brought me to tears. The venerable monks' simple dress, discipline, joy, endurance, and willingness to sacrifice for the common good, promoting a message of peace and love, has the hallmark of great leaders in human history, such as Jesus Christ, Mohandas Gandhi, and Martin Luther King. Will they successfully convince enough people to change their individual behavior, resulting in kinder communities in our country? Question mark. With a movement that is increasing exponentially and supported by many faiths, including Catholic, of which I am a devoted follower, I am hopeful we can begin the process of returning our country to the vision for which our forefathers, and ancestors dreamed, fought, and died. As a mother of 3 married grown sons and 5 grandchildren, I believe the venerable monks have inspired in many of us, a shift towards a more peaceful future for all children. Let me say that again. As a mother of 3 married grown sons and 5 grandchildren, I believe the venerable monks have inspired in many of us a shift towards a more peaceful future for all children. May God bless them and keep them safe. Take a deep breath. You got it? Kaboom. Okay, so there's just tons more about the monks there. It's wonderful to see. We bless them and we celebrate them, holding the light in the midst of a dark, dark moment for America and the world. Yes, Gaza, Ukraine, Nigeria, it's a long list, Syria. Tim Wilde, Practical Ascension. I'm sure we'll come back to this many more times in the next month. Keep your thoughts and prayers high. Everything you have undergone serves a purpose. And now, many of you are standing at the threshold of stepping into roles you've been training for across lifetimes. You don't need to force remembrance. You don't need to chase visions. Your presence, your frequency, your integrity is enough. The rest will unfold precisely when it's meant to. So this is your reminder to stay grounded, stay present, and trust that you are exactly where you need to be. Thank you, Tim. All right. Thank you. I'm a dweller on the threshold. Van Morrison. Thank you. Yes. Good work, Eileen. Well done. Thank you. Aloka. What else we have here, my friends? Quite a bit. Standing Bear. A broken spirit will find offense in almost anything. A spirit that is healed knows the words and actions of another have nothing to do with them. We are the change that we seek. Here's one more, two more for the monks. When the monks leave their monasteries to walk for peace, it is not symbolic, it's a warning. They don't seek attention, they don't ask for power, they walk only when the world is out of balance. If you see them offer food and water, they carry nothing but what's given to them. This isn't a protest, it's a prayer in motion. The fact that Buddhist monks are walking for peace in America should make us all pause. This is serious, this is rare, and it matters. Please keep them safe. And here's another piece here. There is a reason these monks are walking for peace to Washington, D.C. in very calm, deliberate, and selfless manner. They are walking for what is within us and what is possible and for the original intention of humanity. They are literally modeling peace while chaos and violence ensues. We are approaching a critical point where illusions can no longer exist, and each of us will have to decide what we stand for. I am eternally grateful these monks are walking for peace. It has increased my own awareness, where I choose with each and every breath, peace, peace, peace. Every thought is now being looked at and worked with. It starts within each of us, in our everyday moments. What I feel so strongly these days is every effort I make within me is making me stronger and more prepared to stand for peace and justice. It's a training. Because at some point there will be a moment where I will be asked to stand in that strength, not for myself, but for humanity, for what is our divine right, and that is a worthy cause. And that is our dear Emilie Deibler Spear. Thank you, Emily. I 100% agree with you, my friend. As Tim has said, and everyone is saying, we're preparing for a great movement, a great shift of energy. One more. Walking through all conditions. Our walk takes us through sun and rain, dry roads and wet, through snow and warmth, through noise and blessed silence, through crowds and quiet solitude. Some days are gentle and kind. Some days ask more of us than we expected. Some days surprise us with unexpected beauty or unexpected challenges. And isn't this just like all our lives? There are times when everything flows smoothly, when the path ahead feels clear and our steps feel light. And there are times, perhaps some of us are facing this right now, when the road feels rough, when obstacles keep appearing, when we feel cold or tired or uncertain about what comes next, making it hard to take even one more step. The weather of our lives, great phrase, changes without asking permission. Sunny moments give way to storms we didn't see coming. Ease gives way to struggle. Joy and difficulty sit side by side in our hearts. We cannot control these shifts, no matter how hard we try. We cannot demand that life only bring us gentle days. But here is what we can do, and it changes everything. We can choose the path of peace for our minds, even when our circumstances feel anything but peaceful. When we make this choice, when we gently commit to being mindful with our breath and our daily actions, when we practice being present instead of fighting what is, we discover something that feels like grace. We find a peace within that the changing conditions cannot shake, cannot steal, cannot destroy. The rain still falls, but we are not swept away by it. The rough path still asks us to be brave, but we do not lose who we are. The noise still surrounds us, but we are not drowned by it. Because beneath all of it, there is something in us that remains steady, quiet, and whole. This is the peace that lives beneath all circumstances. It doesn't depend on perfect weather or smooth roads. It doesn't require everything to go our way. It simply asks that we show up for ourselves with kindness and mindfulness. Breathe as consciously as we can and meet whatever comes with gentleness instead of harsh judgment. Life will bring sun and rain. That is simply its nature. But peace, true lasting peace, is not found in controlling the weather around us or within us. It's found in learning to walk through all of it with minds that stay as grounded as we can, hearts that try to stay open, and spirits that whisper to us on the hardest days, "This too shall pass." And we are still here, still breathing, still whole, still capable of choosing peace. We are stronger than we know, and peace is closer than we think. May you and all beings be well, be happy, and be at peace. Take a deep breath. Who is that? Lock me fork and plate. Okay. Thank you, Lock Me. And this is a picture here of the monks marching through the snow. Heads down, hoods on. Bless us. So, my friends, yeah, you getting the picture? Okay, here's one from our old buddy Albert Einstein. And then I'm going to read Guthima. Will I do him first? We'll do Einstein. I look upon myself as a man. Nationalism is an infantile disease. It's the measles of mankind. A human being is a part of the whole, called by us the universe, a part limited in time and space. He experiences himself, his thoughts and feelings, as something separate from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of his consciousness. This delusion is a kind of prison for us, restricting us to our personal desires and to affection for a few people nearest to us. Our task must be to free ourselves from this prison by widening our circle of compassion, to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature in its beauty. Stunning. We live in an international anarchy in which a third world war with nuclear weapons lies before our door. We must make the individual man aware of his conscience so that he understands what it means that only a few will survive the next war. We must abandon competition and secure cooperation. Past thinking and methods did not prevent world wars. Future thinking must prevent wars. Albert Einstein. James Twyman.
My fellow Americans, there's only one thing I want to share. Do not confront violence with violence, or hatred with more hatred.
My brothers and sisters, violence only brings more violence and hatred and even greater hatred. Only love brings the desire you seek and that you deserve.
When men and women are beaten and killed by those sworn to protect us, it is even more important to harness the power of love.
So that was JFK, MLK, and Mahatma Gandhi, reminding us of the eternal truths that are here to set us free. Powerful times, my friends. Let me find Brother Guthima's post here one more time. I was on the Course in Miracles this morning with me and everyone for a moment or two, and I wound up reading this to them. Guthima Roba, our planet is so little. I may have read this yesterday. Our planet is so little. Guthima is he's a poet, and he's an immigrant in America from Ethiopia, and he left a dictatorship with his wife and children, and he's made the U.S. his home for the last many years. He'll tell you the story here. He lives in Minnesota. He lives in Minneapolis, which is, of course, the hometown of Bob Dylan and a few other people, Garrison Keillor, etc. Our planet is so little. Our heart is so big. This is a very testing time for Minnesotans. St. Paul, Minneapolis, those big cities. It is not only for Minnesotans, it is for everyone who cares about world peace and human dignity. I want to assure you, you are larger than anything that is happening around you. Turn my heat down. You are bigger than the pain and suffering that the Trump administration is causing. Don't ever lose yourself into the turmoil. The turmoil is not random. It is designed. Rise above it. This is the reign of terror. Refuse to be terrorized. Use it as an opportunity to deepen your spiritual practice. Don't ever be pulled into its dark energy. You might have seen on Friday, thousands of Minnesotans spilled into downtown Minneapolis and protested peacefully, asking the ICE agents to leave Minnesota. The majority of the protesters were not immigrants. They were white people. They could have stayed in their warm houses, enjoying hot cocoa and each other, but they chose to come out in the sub-zero weather and stay all day, chanting and singing. This is because they care about their neighbors. They care about being humans. For me, this is a genuine commitment and true outpouring of unconditional love. He says, I left Ethiopia 25 years ago to escape dictatorial regime. Who could imagine America will have a homegrown and dangerous tyrant? There is already so much suffering in the world. Trump himself admitted recently that Americans need a dictator. He's not only a threat to Americans, he's a threat to world peace. Dear Minnesotans, may peace be with all of you. You really touch my heart, and I cannot be grateful enough. Guthima Roba. Take a deep breath. Okay, so, you got it? Yeah. Thoughts and prayers for peace. Peace be still. Peace, peace, peace. We send blessings and healings and unconditional love and perfect peace to the hearts of everyone involved in this story and every story that is the illusion of separation between ourselves and each other. In truth, we are one. God's love is perfect, whole, and complete. And we see this and know this and say yes to this. We give thanks. We let it be. It is so. So it is. And together we say, Amen, Amen, Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Well, one video that hopped out at me was Brian Scott, the coming timeline split in 2026. And as I said earlier, listening to Paul White Gold Eagle talk about the astrology of the moment and Neptune, which is a big planet of spiritual awakening, as well as the shadow side of it being addiction and escapism. So you got to choose your path wisely, but it is deepening our connection to the higher realms. It is here for the next 14 years in Aries. So it completed its cycle in Pisces for the last 14 years, the 12th sign of the zodiac, and now it's moved into the first sign of Aries. And Neptune is one of 7 planets that will all be at 0 degrees of Aries in the months ahead, particularly next month of February. And Paul was saying that what we had was the wood snake of 2025, and now 2026 we have the fire horse. So the wood is catching on fire, and the snake has turned into a horse. And things are moving at a furious pace this year, and we are just getting started, my friends. So what that means is, of course, and I heard a lovely channel talk about Edgar Casey's predictions about February of 2026, saying similar things, basically, with a lot more detail. It's also on my page here, that the intense energies of November, December, and January, which we're still at the very tail end of right now, are the shakeout, yeah, and that as February arrives, particularly mid-month with Valentine's Day, and that's when the wood horse really kicks off, is the 15th or 14th in there, somewhere in there. Then you're going to see some movement forward, and as Tim Wilde says, it's what you've been getting ready for your whole life. You might just have forgotten that that's why you're here. But your life and the outer world and the dance between the two will get your full attention. I believe that. I believe that down to my toes. And that's what all of this is about. Daily quote, Abraham, ready? If you don't meet resistance with resistance, it dissipates dramatically. It just softens. Try it. The next time somebody says to you, I'm right and you're wrong, say, you're right, you're right, you're right, and mean it. In other words, don't mock them, don't be sarcastic. You're right. And then watch how, all of a sudden, their legs almost go right out from under them. They don't have the energy to blast you because you just took the fuel away from the fire. My Zen answer to that is, you could be right. I find that a little more open-ended, a little more generous to both parties. But it's funny how many times I've forgotten that, isn't it? Yes. It's almost like there's a higher power at work. Eileen Caddy for the 27th of January. Here she comes. Ready? Do you realize that what you do, how you live, and how you think can help or hinder the state of the world? Cease being drawn into the whirlpool of chaos and confusion, of destruction and devastation, and start right now concentrating on the wonder and beauty of the world around you. Give thanks for everything. Bless all those souls whom you contact. Refuse to see the worst in people, in things or in conditions, and seek always for the very best. It is not being like an ostrich, hiding your head in the sand and refusing to face the realities of the world. It is simply looking for and concentrating on the very best in everything and everyone. You are a tiny world within yourself. When there is peace, harmony, love, and understanding right there deep within your little world, it will be reflected in the outer world all around you. When you can do it, you are beginning to help the whole vast situation in the world. Take a deep breath. Peace, peace, peace. What I like to do is play the hangpen musicians doing their improv music on this tin drum. Beautiful instrument, amazing instrument. So check that out. That'll That calms the nerves quite nicely. If I need to do some work or something, I throw that on and keeps my left brain busy. Yeah. A love-filled heart sees life through the lens of love in all situations, as it is connected to the one who created it from love. Let's say that again. Who's this? Honey Borden. Powerful sister. A love-filled heart sees life through the lens of love in all situations, as it is connected to the one who created it from love. Powerful soul. Thank you, honey. Bless you. Okay. Damien Dempsey, one of my Irish music heroes here. I was just realizing this is the first year I didn't check in with Damien for his gigs at Vicar Street. He does great shows online for free every Christmas. And I was too distracted this year for some reason, but the guy's a powerhouse. He says on TG Cahir, which is the Irish language channel here, tomorrow night, Wednesday the 28th, our little island is full to the brim of the trauma that Pauline is trying to bring to the surface in this beautiful, incredible, brave, heartbreaking film. And it's the only way we'll heal as a nation and honor all the people who suffered through the horrendous times where certain people had an incredible amount of power over us. And no one should have that power over another person, because when they do, this is what can happen. Help people see this film, a very powerful and important piece of art. So that's tomorrow night on TG Cahir, sponsored by and supported by Damien Dempsey. I will find out, yes. The Christian Brothers, I think, is what comes to mind. There's Our Lady. Bless you. How are we doing here? So, as always, it's just a joy and a privilege to get to share any of these ideas with you. I hope they make your heart sing like they certainly do mine, and I'm always so grateful to the people that are posting and writing and, in Eileen's case, composing and singing and sharing with us their gifts and their vision for the world at this time. This must be what I'm looking for. Here's Ali Ray. Do not be afraid. Become comfortable in the unknown. That's where all the magic is. Ali Ray. Love is, love is, love is. God is, God is, God is. Beautiful illustration you can see on my page there. Little boy looking up at the universe. Thich Nhat Hanh. Through my love for you, I want to express my love for the whole cosmos, the whole of humanity, and all beings. By living with you, I want to learn to love everyone and all species. Shout out to Eileen. If I succeed in loving you, I will be able to love everyone and all species on earth. This is the real message of love. Thich Nhat Hanh, someone that my buddy John Cully got me a lot closer to. John and I did an online retreat from Plum Village together. That was a magical moment. Powerful times, my friends. Michael Gross, it's been said that the best way to combat hate is with love. So for today's practice, I want to share the Buddha's own words on metta, loving kindness. Yeah, metta, M-E-T-T-A, okay, is loving kindness. I didn't know that. It, along with karuna, compassion, which we practice here every Monday, the Buddha taught these qualities to help us to overcome limited, self-centered, or prejudiced mindsets, and when practiced extensively, will lead to a divine abode in this life and if maintained at the time of death, lead to a rebirth in the heavenly realm. Metta, M-E-T-T-A, metta, is the foundation for these four immeasurables. The other three qualities are variations of loving kindness that arise in different circumstances. Here's what the Buddha said, as translated from Pali. The Buddha's words on loving kindness. This is what should be done by one who is skilled in goodness and who knows the path of peace. Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties and frugal in their ways, peaceful and calm and wise and skillful, not proud or demanding in nature. Let them not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove. Wishing in gladness and in safety, may all beings be at ease, whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short, or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born. May all beings be at ease. Let none deceive another, or despise any being in any state. Let none through anger or ill will wish harm upon another. Even as a mother protects her life with her child, her only child, so with a boundless heart should one cherish all living beings, radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded, freed from hatred and ill will, whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, free from drowsiness. One should sustain this recollection. This is said to be the sublime abiding. By not holding to fixed views, the pure-hearted one, having clarity of vision, being freed from all sense desires, is not born again into this world. Take a deep breath. Wow. This is why I love to do this. That was absolutely profound. I don't recall that I've ever heard such a long presentation credited to the Buddha before. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Three things that cannot long be hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. So as the revelations continue, the true motives of everyone, myself included, become more apparent in our outer lives and in our experience. And I do believe we are in the midst of this awakening and shift. And Addie Lamborn has told us, and I believe our sister, that in the next 2 months, the Divine Mother's presence will be felt in the world in a way that hasn't happened for thousands of years. It is the return of the Divine Mother on the spring equinox. It also happens to be the day, 2 days before 3I Atlas, an interstellar object that came from God knows where, the great attractor evidently, on a journey beyond time and space, and across time and space, will cuddle right up next to a little planet in our solar system called Jupiter, which is the king and queen, the leadership, the authority, the spiritual wisdom, the higher self, our destiny, all of that. So, meanwhile, between now and then, the winds are blowing, and there's war and rumors of war, and everyone's talking about the price of silver, and things are going round and round and round. So it's my prayer, it's my intention that this be a safe space and a sacred space where we can come back and touch the truth that sets us free. In the little bit of sharing I did in the course this morning, somehow I mentioned the joy the freedom of joy, the freedom that comes along with a sense of joy, and how joy is liberating and freeing. Lazarus says, joy is the healer, my teacher of 40 years. And Sinead was commenting on that and saying, yeah, isn't it great? When we have joy, we feel free. And this is it, my friends, yeah? I was commenting to Annie, I'm in a gratitude group here in Ireland, and I started with a new partner. We do a different partner every month. I took a month off in between things, and it's 4 to 4 that everyone in the group has someone or themselves coping with a life-threatening illness. And I've been putting a few posts there about a certain medical technology, and I am also happy to talk about these things whenever you like, yeah? So that's my pitch for that for today. I'm on tomorrow night with my group, LifeWave Team Ireland, on Zoom, and all of these things in my mind fit together. I also truly must do a Pete Townsend and pick up my guitar and play, because the call is there, my friends, for all of us to shine our light and share our love. So on that, I will invite you to please share this video. Please make a donation to my PayPal. Please subscribe to the Substack. And please have a wonderful day. Let me give you my guides here and see what they have to add to the cosmic moment here. God bless the monks and everyone that is supporting them. Here we go. Close your eyes, turn within, take a deep breath. Right, God bless you, dear friends. Why not? Let's do it. Let's have it, dear friends. Relax and release. Relax and release. Relax and release. So the channel opens the window there and we come roaring in. It's a joy. It's a pleasure. And it's a privilege, dear friends. The way that you treat yourself is the way that you instruct the world to respond to you. Your relationship to yourself, and the topic of the day, your relationship to the peace or chaos and confusion within yourself, is becoming increasingly important. It is your focus right here and now, you could say. Financially, politically, spiritually. The social contract, dear friends, the I will give you this and you will provide me that, has been greatly tested, dear friends, to put it mildly. Yes, in America and in your country here of Ireland and around the world, everyone is going through a different version of the same challenges. And dear ones, it is, as the teachers are reminding you here, because it is time to awaken from the dream and come back to the truth that sets you free. That you are the creator of your reality. That you are here to learn to do this consciously and joyously, and to have the freedom that you seek, and to have the love that you deserve, and to have the abundance that you desire, and to have the impact that you are working towards in your community, on screen, and in the world, dear friends. All of that, it requires you be very honest with yourselves, dear friends. And it requires that you acknowledge, surrender, and release those ideas, experiences, and relationships that no longer serve the truth of who you are. In other words, simply put, dear friends, you must stand naked before the world. And to do that, dear friends, you must know who you are and what you are about. That as the teacher, artist, and healer, that all of you are in potential, and many of you are in process, and some of you are as masters now. You are receiving the next piece of the puzzle, dear friends, the next note in the song, the next sentence in your poem or play, dear friends. Yeah, the next step on the journey home, dear friends. And you are picking up the pace, dear friends, in this year of 2026, to put it mildly. And so, dear friends, we ask you to be very deliberate, grounded, and intentional, and to keep a bubble of light, yeah, violet, white, as you like, dear friends, golden, pearl-colored, a bubble of light, to use your imagination, simply put, to take more conscious dominion over your experience of your 3D, 4D, 5D reality. The channel and his friend here were commenting how asking for help is such a simple thing to do, and yet how often one might forget to do that, or think it is somehow indulgent or selfish, dear friends. But truly understand that as your life is working, and you are a space for grace, a place for peace, that you have compassion and mercy and forgiveness and tolerance and understanding and empathy for the experiences of the people in your life, physical and virtual and all the rest of it, imaginal, dear friends. So you are redefining moment by moment what you believe to be true. And dear friends, when you align your belief, your understanding, and your knowing, then you return to true wisdom and true empowerment. The wise ones who've been shared with you here today are beautiful monks, and their wonderful aloka, and the songs and the messages that they have inspired. There are many more to come, because this is a gift of grace from the Divine Mother to assist humanity and the culture and the country of America and its influence and impact in the lives of billions around the world, to awaken from the nightmare and come back to the freedom of joy, the joy of freedom, dear friends. And so people are receiving a transmission through the presence, again, physically and virtually, of these beautiful souls. And it is overlit by the divine grace of peace on earth. Take a deep breath. So your heart is heard and your prayers are felt, and it is yours to be that space for grace and receive them in your sense of yourself, in your willingness to be worthy of what you are wanting to express and experience in life. In other words, simply put, dear friends, give thanks. Repeatedly, sincerely, and often throughout the day. Oh, I'm so grateful for this. I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for the possibility of this and that. Dear friends, gratitude, you can write 1 million checks every day with gratitude, and they will all come back to you, dear friends, paid in full. Yes? So the world is in the midst of the greatest change ever, and you asked and were given permission to be a part of that change because you serve a higher purpose. You might ask yourself, Father, Mother, God, what is my higher purpose today? And guide me and use me and help me to fulfill that. And I give thanks, knowing it is done. Dear friends, it is so, so it is. We love you. Be at peace. All is well. The joy of freedom. The freedom of joy. It's yours for the asking. Give thanks. Namaste. Thank you. Peace and blessings. If I can help you, please let me know. Peace.